Hufflepuff. Alright guys, so we're going to see another movie. Today it is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. So 2 years ago, when we were but young film reviewers, and things weren't, and the world was not, well, it was falling apart. We were on the cusp of falling apart because a few weeks earlier something happened. But anyway, 2 years ago, a whole new chapter in the Harry Potter universe was started being told with the first movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now here we are, 2 years later, and people have started to question things about J.K. Rowling just from trailers and stuff. Public opinion has kind of soured on J.K. Rowling in the last 2 years. I don't know why. I honestly can't tell you why. I think it's mainly because of the way that she has been building the Harry Potter universe in the last few years, that people are like, I really should have adjusted this hat before putting it on. Alright, but there's things like Nagini, her defense of Johnny Depp as Grindelwald and everything, and things like that have made people kind of think, is J.K. Rowling really as... Maybe J.K. Rowling's kind of lost her touch. Also, a lot of people turned against the cursed, did not like the Cursed Child, even though she did not write any of that. No, but that doesn't matter. We're still going to see this movie because we are still massive fans of Harry Potter. We are still optimistic because we truly believe that we can find some kind of merit in this movie. So let's talk a little bit about what we got going on up ahead. David Yates is, of course, returning to direct. Eddie Redmayne is, of course, Catherine Watterson, Dan Fogler, they are all, of course, returning. And we have the new additions of Jude Law and Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, of course, was in the last one, and I kind of regret saying that he looks awesome now that I realize that public opinion was actually kind of the opposite. But at the same time, he kind of did. But at the same time, it's kind of going to be interesting to see how he looks. We were kind of in the moment. I was kind of caught up in the moment at that point, but yeah. In the end, this is we still like the first Fantastic Beasts movies. Yeah. Now Jude Law's Dumbledore. I'm hoping they expand on this more. Hopefully, I hope we get what we want out of that. Honestly, Jude Law we have not seen Jude Law in a lot. We have not seen like his romantic comedies. We have not seen a lot of. We didn't see that King Arthur movie he did with Guy Ritchie last year, but Jude Law, and what we've seen him in, which is basically the Sherlock Holmes movies, he's been pretty good. Yeah, and we're seeing him in Captain Marvel this March, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. We also have the return of Ezra Miller as Credence, even though it seemed like he died at the end of the last one. It seemed like it, but even in the screenplay, which we have read since the last review, they seemed to put a little bit of an emphasis on the fact that a little piece of him was still alive, that he was at least partially alive. We have Zoe Kravitz playing Lita Strange after a photo cameo in the first movie. Though of course it draws the question of why cast an American actress for a role that is clearly supposed to be British. We will probably not know for a little while, but it's going to be interesting to see how this movie goes. It has not been doing fantastic with the critics. It's lukewarm, to say the least. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, what we want is fantastical elements. We want to go back into this universe again. We just kind of need escapism right now because this week has been kind of tough with the passing of one of our heroes. And a lot of stuff and a lot of other stuff. It's been an emotional roll. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster for us. So we just kind of want to sit down. So we just kind of want to sit back. I've been looking forward to this all day, basically. We just got off work. We are driving to the theater from where we work. We've been looking. This is basically been what's getting us to the end of the day. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, I just want to go into the theater and feel a little happy for a little while. Yeah. So now that we've put that down and on it, you got anything else to add? I got nothing else to add, and we are still miles away from the theater, but we should probably but I guess we're going to stop it here. That's fine. We are hours away from the other end of this vlog. Yeah. So see you guys after the jump. Bye. All right. So, that happened. That happens. And all I can say is a little bloated, a little messy, but it has a story that I can't wait to see where this goes. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So first of all, David Yates' direction is still good. It's still working for me. There's a lot of great spells, a lot of great visual work. It's good. It's good. J.K. Rowling's writing, detail has definitely always been her strong suit. I cannot imagine the world that exists only in her mind. It just drives me crazy trying to remember the stuff I know about this universe. I can't imagine how she is every day, going through that every day with this in her head. And honestly, last time I had talked about how J.K. Rowling kind of had her work cut out for her, trying to go from telling everything to showing, not telling. And last time she did it well. This time around, I feel like there were some points where the exposition got a little bit heavier. It definitely jumps around a lot, which is kind of a problem with the story altogether. We don't get to spend a lot of time. We have so many characters we don't get to spend a lot of time with. There's certain characters we don't get to spend a lot of time with. And also, it's kind of weird that. And also, speaking of jumping around, there's also kind of some weird cuts here and there. Like there's this scene where a few of our main characters are like hanging off of a shelf, and then we'll suddenly cut to the next scene and they're on the ground and running from the threat that, and there's a beast running through the streets of Paris, and then suddenly Newt's there, or stuff like that. Kind of awkward cutting that. Yeah, yes, I know this is a movie where people can literally teleport from place to place, but it kind of feels weird that it's cutting like this. Yeah. Jude Law as Dumbledore is freaking amazing. He works everything about the wise sage Dumbledore, but also the playful jokester Dumbledore that we always had. And basically every second he's on screen, you can kind of feel this is where either the Michael Gambon or the Richard Harris, take your pick. Either this is where those Dumbledores came from. It really feels like, but at the same time he makes the character his own. Like Richard Harris's Dumbledore is different from Michael Gambon's Dumbledore, and Jude Law's Dumbledore is different from both Richard Harris and Michael Gambon's Dumbledore. But this is him as a young man, so it's very much like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels. He does a fantastic job portraying this character, but portraying this character as a young man, and we can kind of see little hints of the character we know and love peeking through. So, Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander, I feel like when it comes down to it, it depends on your overall opinion on Eddie Redmayne. I know that he's not everybody's cup of tea. I know that there's a good chunk of people who just essentially think of Eddie Redmayne and they're like, I don't know, he's not exactly a charisma magnet or anything like that, but I kind of like him he's got that awkward charm. I hesitate to compare him to Hugh Grant, another British actor who kind of had that awkward charm about him on screen, even though Hugh Grant was basically proven to be the exact opposite of that person when you actually looked at his personal life, but still. Yeah. But Eddie Redmayne, I think that his kind of lack of charisma plays in his favor for this particular character for obvious reasons. Yeah, this is how this character just is. Dan Fogler once again steals the show as Jacob Kowalski. I feel like they were holding him back a little bit this time around, but I guess it goes with the darker tone they were trying to set with this. Yeah, I think one of the differences between this and the Harry Potter story is that Harry Potter waited about 4 books before it decided to take a bit of a darker turn as it went. But this time around, they're on the second movie, and they're on the second of 5 planned movies, and they're already deciding, all right, we're going to need to raise the stakes by this much. It's interesting. It's interesting that this is what they decided to go with. Ezra Miller just kind of blew it out of the park this time around. Like, like for what little he's around, because he's not around because he's one of the things that ends up falling to the wayside because the movie's got such a bloated, it kind of got bloated and mixed up and messy, and it's a lot of different plots jamming, kind of being shoehorned together. But for what he's in there, he's actually really, really, really bringing his A game this time around. Particularly because this time around he does actually get to talk and act and everything like that. Whereas last time he just kind of had to stand there awkwardly while everybody else just kind of actually got the meat of the story out of the way. Yes. Johnny Depp as Grindelwald was a very inspired performance, really, because the ending of the at the end of the movie, we see him commanding his followers, and he's very much someone you can see what his followers see. You can see this kind of presence that just enforces this kind of allegiance to him. And look, we're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into Johnny Depp's personal life. We know he's a scumbag. We know he's a piece of crap. But when it comes down to it, the guy is still a very talented actor. And he's not. And for the most part, it looks like he's not going away. Sadly, despite who he is in his day-to-day life, he is not going anywhere. Sadly, but at the same time, we're not going to just not praise a performance like that. Granted, it seems a little hypocritical that we just jumped off of guys like Kevin Spacey and Bryan Singer and all kinds of other guys who have been kind of hit by very similar strikes. But look, we're gonna continue to do this whole thing where it's just like we're just gonna try to focus on the performances, not to separate the art from the artist. But just know we're very emotionally conflicted about that whole thing, because we're very emotionally conflicted about doing it in the first place, because I don't admire Johnny Depp. I was never a huge fan of him in the first place, but he did do good in this movie, so that's all I'm going to say about that. And James Newton Howard's score, once again, it's great. Yeah. The guy knows his way around the Harry Potter score more. Yeah. And most importantly, he knows when to bring in the old musical cues from the original Harry Potter series, particularly the second we cut back to Hogwarts for the first time in this movie. We see Hogwarts and we see the Ministry of Magic again, and it's like we're home. This actually feels like he feels like a Harry Potter movie when we're there, when we're outside of Hogwarts, or when we're inside the Ministry of Magic in London. It's just back to the old ways. I don't know if that's and I don't think that's what they were going for, because they want to make. I'm pretty sure they want to make it entirely clear that this is a whole new this is a new story. As for everyone who's saying that prequels that this is everything wrong with a prequel, that prequels do not typically give you much to work with, I just want to say there is still a lot of doors open that we don't know about. Yes, we know where Newt Scamander is because we all read about the author in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book. We know where Tina's going, but at the same time, we don't know we know where Grindelwald's going to end up, but we don't know where all of these characters are going to end up at the end of this story. And to know what is going to happen next, especially now with the ending we just got, it releases a lot of questions. And granted, I'm sure this is going to have a lot of Harry Potter fans a little bit confused. Some are probably going to get angry because of the way that this is portrayed, because of the way they do this. But in the long run, I'm just going to say in a few of these, J.K. Rowling created these characters. J.K. Rowling knows what she's doing with this. I hope she does, at least. So if she wants to change a thing or two, a minor detail or two about these characters, then I guess I'm fine with it, because she's the creator. She's the person who did all of this. It's like with George Lucas. You can't, just because he went around changing things with the prequels doesn't mean changing meanings and stuff with the prequels equals. You can't fault him for it, because he gave us what this came from in the first place. Probably not a good comparison. Not a great comparison, really. But same with J.K. Rowling. She gave us this world. She can make shit. She can mess with it all she wants. And in the long run, it's not like she's It's not like she's like revealing the magic is like these little it's like the little cells in your blood is like these little cells in your bloodstream that only a few select few people have. No, yeah, there's little things like Professor McGonagall is in this movie, even though she isn't supposed to be born for another 18 years. There's a bunch of stuff. But in the end, I don't think that will matter for a lot of Potter fans. I think I'm perfectly staying with Carlin's reaction from Super Coen Brothers, and that's anyway. But yeah, things are changing in this wizarding world now. Speaking of which, Dark Universe. This is how you do it. Yeah. You wait until you've actually made one successful movie before you decide to slap a logo on things. We know Marvel did it. We know Marvel and DC did it, but they had logos before they decided to make a universe. And they were not forcing a production company down people's throats. Though of course we're probably not going to be seeing any more from that Johnny Depp related universe. No, especially since Johnny Depp didn't even get a chance to join that universe before it died. But that's all we got for you guys this time around. We're almost home. But yeah, Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. It's okay. It's very okay. I feel like it's got some like a bit of sequelitis, but at the same time, I'm excited to see where it goes next. It's a little messy, it's a little bloated, but hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Anyway, so be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to tune in next time when I'm gonna rock it. Bye.